My name is Christopher Samaras. I'm with the City of Lowell Community Development Office. I just want to welcome you to the 2017 National Community Development Week. This week we'll be featuring highlighting some programs that are funded by CDBG funds, which is a great program, and you'll see a lot of great things being done with those monies. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you.
The vision of the Boys and Girls Club is to help the most vulnerable youth in Lowell, make sure they have a safe haven so they can break the cycle of poverty and have access to a great future. We do that for youth ages 7 to 18. It only costs $30 a year, and that's because we target the kids who need us most. And we have over 1,500 members on a daily basis. We have about 350 kids a day, which is almost 100 kids a day more than we had last year at the same time. So we have a lot of kids who come through, and our goals are to make sure that they end up having academic success, a healthy lifestyle, and to be good citizens as well. They've made a huge difference for the club. There's two different types of HUD funds that we get. One is the Community Development Block Grant Facilities Funds, and in an aging building, this building's 1973, the HUD has allowed us to do things such as repair about 80% of our roof. When I first came to Lowell, we had trash buckets in the gym collecting water, and the kids would run out in between baskets to wipe around that. We had to end that and make sure it was safe for the kids, and also it just prevented further damage to the gym floor and other areas of the club. But it's also done different projects, such as most recently this past year, it allowed us to get a new air handle in the gym, which allows us to change the air over. There's no air conditioning in there. It gets very, very hot in the summertime, and we run a peace league, a basketball league, to help keep teens off the street and doing something safe and productive. And they're willing to come on a regular basis. They love coming. It's one of their favorite things to do. However, when it gets to be 95 and humid and the gym turns into 110 and humid, some kids don't show up. So the air handler has allowed us to keep that attendance strong and to make a big difference. So in an aging building, that funding really makes a difference so that the kids have a safe haven and that they also feel like it's a place they want to be at. Younger kids sometimes are told by the parents where to go, but teenagers have a choice, and the parents have a choice. And if they come in and they see leaks and it's much too hot and everybody's dripping with sweat before they start playing basketball, that's a reason for kids to turn around and not come to the club, and we can't have an impact on their lives unless they're here. The other one is the music program, which comes through the Community Development Block Grant funding, and that funding allowed us to start the music program and fund some of the new kids coming through that program. And what it really also has allowed us to do is not just that funding that comes through, but that funding allows us to, we can leverage that funding to get additional funds, which has allowed us to become the most active music clubhouse in a 14 clubhouse network, because we were able to leverage CBG money to get additional private funds that then allowed us to serve more kids and more teens in the music program. And that's really important because, well, a lot of kids come to the Boys and Girls Club for basketball. That's why I went as a kid. Other kids don't care about basketball, and music is another interest that brings a whole different group of kids in. And both basketball and music are really youth development programs. Yes, the kids think they're basketball and music, and we certainly try to do that as well as we can. But they're tools for youth development that allow us to build relationships with these youth and go back to what our vision is, which is to, first of all, the safe haven, but then to break the cycle of poverty and encourage them to have a plan for when they graduate high school, whether that's college, whether it's trade school, or whether it's developing a skill such as coding or a different type of technical skill that allows them to have a job and support their families, so that their kids don't need entitlement funds in order to get by. Well, the HUD funding programs make a big difference, and I think it really affects all of our kids because of the facility piece. And in terms of how it supports the community on an immediate basis, in terms of safety, it means that there's more than 350 kids on a typical day, some days up to 400 kids that are in a safe place. And I've had multiple police chiefs come through and talk to us about the fact that look at all these kids that are here, all these teens that are here. Every one of these teens isn't out on the streets interacting with my officers in a negative way. And I think that, A, the kids are safe, but B, that they're not out. Bored kids create problems. I don't care how rich or poor they are, bored kids create problems. And the fact that we're able to house as many kids as we are in a safe place makes a huge difference. But that's only step one. That's to make sure that they're safe in the moment, reduce crime, those types of things. Help them do well in school. But the goal is to break that cycle and really make sure they have a path for the future. And we have a lot of kids who've come through these doors, and more they're able to come through the doors because of this HUD funding. And they're doing things. Yesterday they toured a lab that talked about how particles are processed, and it was a huge high-tech operation, and it opened our kids' minds to what was possible. Today they're at Harvard on a tour to see if that's a possibility for them. We've gone on tours of the UMass Lowell's Nanotechnology Center, and based just on that tour, our kids' minds were open to the idea of engineering is possible. 3 of the kids on that tour now are in college studying engineering. 2 of those kids used to be told by their parents, I'm sorry, don't have dinner tonight because your little brother and sister have to eat because it's close to payday. And now those kids are eating 5 meals a week at the Boys and Girls Club, but their kids on the salary of an engineer will not have that problem in the next generation of youth. Another young man is working at Mass General Hospital Stroke Center now as a research assistant. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania. He's on a Harvard fellowship now. He's somebody who was abandoned by his dad when he was 7 years old, and he credits the club for opening his mind to what's possible. And the next generation of those kids are coming here now, and they went on a tour today of Harvard, but they're here every day building relationships with our staff that allow them to find many different opportunities that will be their path. And whether it's going to Harvard, or whether it's learning how to code, or whether it's figuring out they want to be a plumber, whatever it may be, we're helping them find those paths so that in the future they can take care of themselves and their family, and they won't need an entitlement in the future because CDB funds allowed us to put them in a position to be successful and to access a great future. So thank you very much.
Welcome to the WISH Project. My name is David Fitzgerald. I'm the Executive Director here at the WISH Project, and we're glad to have you. So I'd like to give you a tour of the place if you want to come along and join us. In this area, we have our service area for our clients. They'll come in here with their wishes, and we'll have them order stuff and collect it through our customer service system, and Grace will take their order as they come in. And then they'll be able to shop in this area and get any needs or wishes the family might need. So in this area, we do clothing primarily and shoes. So if you walk with me through this area. So 4 times a year without paperwork, if you come in off the street or if you know of a homeless person, you may bring them here 4 times a year, and they'll be allowed to get 6 shirts, 3 pants, and a pair of shoes without paperwork, without question. So after the clients have gone here, if they need furniture wishes or household goods, they'll be brought in here with one of our volunteers or our workers, like Diane here is one of my volunteers, and she'll walk the clients through with their wish list and give them items that they need to get started or get back on their feet. So over here we have some housewares. This is our volunteer area. Once goods are donated, they're sorted by hard goods, clothing, and furniture. All of the furniture and all of the bedding is treated and Therminator, which basically kills everything on it. So we treat all the furniture, we treat all the bedding, and then it is reprocessed for clients. The clothing is sorted in here. If it is usable, it is folded, neatly stacked, and then given out to our clients. If it is not usable, we put it to a recycling service so it doesn't go into a landfill. So we probably have anywhere from 50 to 100 volunteers come in here a week from companies like Kronos, Eastern Bank, many different agencies, sports teams, Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops will come in here. and offices and just volunteer their time. And that's one of the great things about the Wish Project. We allow the opportunity for the community to participate in helping others. Oftentimes, a victim from a fire or natural disaster will be left with nothing. The Wish Project provides full restocking of a house for them. So if they lost everything in an apartment fire, they can come to us and we'll give them the clothes, the bedding, silverware, and dishes to get them back on their feet again. As you can see, sometimes we're donated new goods from like restaurants that maybe didn't buy the right items or secondhands. And we're the benefactor of those. And then the generosity of the public for giving us housewares and dishes and stuff like this. My volunteers will come in and sort, clean, and stack this. So if a family comes in, we can give a basket to a family of 4 that'll have silverware, dishes, appliances, so they can get their kitchen up and going again. Another service we provide to our agencies is birthday bags. So boys and girls of different ages who might be either in a shelter or transitioning, they can order and get a birthday bag for that child with toys and gifts and candy, age appropriate and gender appropriate for that young child. And we also do newborn baby baskets. So if a newborn mother comes from the agency and she needs diapers and baby shampoo and toys, things to make her feel more welcoming to her child, these are the things that we provide. This area is our project area. And we do 4 major projects a year. One is the backpacks, or every late summer around August time, we'll solicit donations of finance and gifts from the community and put together a backpack for a child. So this past year, with supplies in it, pens, paper, everything a child will need to start the school year, we provided over 700 backpacks this past year for children in the Merrimack Valley. We also do we're doing a Mother's Day bag drive. So the agencies who have single mothers or mothers who are in need, they get a gift of a bag which has things like shampoo and feminine items like hand lotion, lip balm, maybe some makeup that will make a mother feel special on Mother's Day. And we provide those to our agencies, and we do more than 500, I'd say more than 500 of those bags a year. So that's another one of our projects. Each winter we have sponsor a family or a child for Christmas, which is a third of our major projects, where any individual can sponsor a family of the entire family and buy them Christmas presents, or a child or individual and get them gifts. And lastly, we have what's called a BITS bag, which is basic items for TOTS success. It's an acronym. And we put developmental toys into a bag for a child in need. So we'll be able to hear colors and sights and sounds in the books in the elementary school, things that you might not be able to afford if you're, say, moving into your first apartment. And so that's our 4 major projects. And this is where that magic happens. So if you look, we have everything from diapers to baby formula. If a child needs a birthday party, we can help the agency out. Then all the bags, once they're made and put together, we prep them and call all the agencies, and we announce that to them, and they come and they pick up all of their items. Obviously, we provide diapers for newborns and all other ages, and so this is what's all donated for the BITS bags and the toys and what the children's are provided. So they're new. A lot of the items we give out are new. Like new or gently used. If it's not in good repair, we throw it away and we don't give it out to someone else. So 4 days a week, we accept donations from the community. There are criteria because we don't want to accept junk. If it's dirty or in disrepair, we won't accept it. Because of the size constraints we have in our warehouse, we can only accept so many things. So please check the list on the website of items we do accept, and when we accept them, call is always a good idea before you've come in to drop something off, so you know that we do accept it. But no knickknacks, but most furniture, no appliances, tables, beds, chairs, lamps are all acceptable. But not the knickknacks and the other things. We don't have the room or the capacity to do those type of things. But that's basically the entire operation. The volunteers will come in, or the donations will come in. They'll be sorted into the areas. Go in the volunteer where we fold and sort. Once it's folded and sorted, it goes into the front area. Then projects are basically made back here.
All right. Tell us about the WISH project and what is its mission?
Well, the WISH project was founded about 10 years ago in 2005, and its mission is to provide household goods and services to families and children in need. We do this with a committed team of volunteers and staff, where we provide emergency services from victims of fire or disaster and needed goods for the community for the entire Merrimack Valley.
How have HUD entitlement funds supported your program?
Well, it is actually because of the HUD entitlement funds that the WISH project exists. It was 10 years ago when this was founded, and our founder was running this out of her garage and taking the items that she could get and providing them to the social service workers. Eventually, because of the HUD grant, she was able to rent this facility and start actually providing services for thousands rather than hundreds of people. So it was because of that HUD grant that actually the WISH project was able to be founded. And in the years since, the continued support has allowed us to provide programs and services for now 35,000 people a year, over 2,000 families. And in the 10 years that we've received support from HUD, we've now served over 250,000 people in the lifetime of this agency because of the generosity of the HUD program.
In what ways do HUD-funded programs impact your clients and the community?
Well, the ability to provide these programs is directly correlated to the support we receive from HUD. A few of the projects that we do that we're enabled to do because of the funding from HUD are a Mother's Day bag, where we provide needed items for a mother who might be in a homeless shelter or transitioning out into her first apartment, and the agencies come to us and say, is there anything we can give these ladies, a housewarming gift where we can make them feel more at home. So programs and projects like the Mother's Day bags are directly a result of the funding received from HUD.
Valley Food Bank is an agency that's been serving Lowell and the surrounding community since 1991, and we collect, store, and redistribute food donations from multiple sources. We handle over 4 million pounds of food annually, and we serve residents of Lowell and beyond that total some months over 80,000. Since we've been receiving the Community Development Block Grant funds, we have been able to increase the number of people that receive nutritious food through our organization. Being a nonprofit, we rely on contributions from individuals and corporations, and we're able to leverage those funds that we receive from those other entities by letting them know that we're able to maximize all of the resources that we have, including those Community Development Block Grant funds. There are so many people in our community that you would never believe are experiencing food insecurity and are really finding it challenging to access basic needs. With the funds that we get from HUD, we are able to provide nutritious food so that people can pay their rent or mortgage. They can pay their utilities. They can pay for medication that may not be covered under insurance. There are children, seniors, veterans, and working families that are all benefiting from those funds that we receive and through the generous donations of people in our community. Our mobile pantry is really representative of a lot of the organizations that benefit from the food that we receive, that we collect and store and then redistribute. And we do that through food pantries and shelters and meal programs. We don't have individuals and families coming into this food distribution center to get food. Instead, we have agencies like Catholic Charities of Merrimack Valley, which has a Lowell food pantry, Open Pantry of Greater Lowell. In total, we have about 150 agencies and programs that benefit from our operation. The mobile pantry is one that serves homebound seniors and disabled people that aren't able to get to a food pantry. We do also have people that are in their 50s. They may be on dialysis and they're low income and their resources are really stretched to the max. The same volunteers every month bring them a delivery of about 30 meals worth of food. These bins of food that you see over here, some of them are empty or nearly empty. And twice a year, we conduct a neighborhood food drive during which we engage volunteers to distribute empty bags of food at people's homes in designated neighborhoods in Lowell. And we provide volunteers with a map, and some of them have been doing this for decades. The bag has a flyer on it that describes the type of food that we would like them to donate if they're able to. And it's always going to be the non-perishable food that's in highest demand. We engage up to 100 volunteers for this one event, and it's the only one in which people can do this on evenings or weekends, and then the pickup of these bags is always on a Saturday. We can collect sometimes up to 20,000 pounds of food in these food drives, and we call it our pantry raid. The food that you see on either side of this aisle represents our state and federal contracts. We do benefit from a line item in the state budget that helps us access food and a little bit of admin funding. As you see, these are types of food that are going to suit most populations. We have a walk-in freezer, and as you can see, we have frozen chicken, whole chickens, leg quarters, breasts. We go pick it up in our refrigerated truck, which also has a freezer setting on it. We're in the lower level of the original Pillings Shoe Factory. We're in the front part of a quad of buildings that at one time manufactured shoes. We received this building as a donation from the Stagnan family that operated Lowell Fruit Company. We love working in this historic building, and it represents the working class and in many cases the people that we serve. And we are in search of another facility because we've been on 3 levels so far. I mentioned that we distribute 4 million pounds of food a year. When we're handling that amount of food among 3 levels, it is challenging. We're now in a different building as part of our property, as you can probably see the difference as we pass through. Fortunately, we're able to use about 20,000 square feet of food storage. The food that you see in these bins are waiting to be distributed to students in Lowell Public Schools so that they can take the food home over the weekend. We work with 14 schools total, and over 900 students benefit per month from these bags of food that contain 2 days worth of breakfast, lunch, snacks, and items that a family can use toward dinner. One of the activities that we have going on here constantly is the delivery of food, and then 3 days a week our member agencies or our customers are taking the food out back to their agencies, and they're putting it on shelves or right into bags and boxes where it will be taken by individuals and families. We appreciate the contributions of food, funds, and volunteer time from so many who have helped us achieve our mission over the years. We want everybody to know that there are so many ways that you can get involved, whether it's to donate your time, donate regularly, $20 a month, or a one-time gift of any amount is so helpful. And any amount of food donations we'll gladly accept. You can find out more about how to get involved by visiting our website at mvfb.org or call us at 978-454-7272.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Community Development Week. I hope you saw what we have been doing with CDBG funds. I think you will see that we had a lot of great programs funded, and we hope you enjoyed 2017 Community Development Week.